When I married my husband, I thought I had entered a simple life, a life where love, trust, and family would be enough. He was older than me by nearly 15 years, a widower with a teenage son named Daniel. I tried to build a bond with Daniel, but there was always a quiet distance between us. He was polite, respectful, but there was something in his eyes, something unreadable, that made me feel like he saw more than he should. At first, I told myself it was natural. After all, I was not his real mother. I was the woman who had stepped into his father's life after his mother's sudden death. Still, the way Daniel watched me sometimes, it unsettled me. He had his father's piercing eyes, but when they fixed on me, it felt different, almost like he was studying me, waiting. One evening, my husband left on a week-long business trip. That left Daniel and me alone in the house. I cooked dinner, trying to keep things normal. The silence at the table was heavy, broken only by the clinking of forks against plates. Then Daniel spoke. "Do you love my dad?" he asked, his tone calm but deliberate. The question caught me off guard. "Of course I do," I said quickly. But Daniel didn't break eye contact. He simply nodded, almost like he was testing my answer. The next few days felt even stranger. I would find Daniel lingering near the kitchen doorway, watching me when I cooked, or sitting on the living room couch, staring blankly at the TV but not really watching it. And every time, I felt his eyes on me. One night, as I was heading upstairs, I noticed Daniel's door was slightly open. Inside, he sat at his desk with a photo album open in front of him. His late mother's photos. His head turned, and again those eyes locked on me. "You'll never be her," he said quietly, almost like it wasn't meant for me to hear. I froze in the hallway, unable to respond. His voice was cold, and though I wanted to step in and comfort him, something in his tone made me step back instead. The following evening, something happened that changed everything. I had just finished cleaning the kitchen when Daniel walked in, leaning against the counter. His face was unreadable, but there was a sharpness in his voice. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Of course," I replied, forcing a smile. He hesitated, then looked directly into my eyes. "If my dad wasn't here, would you still stay?" My heart stopped. The question was heavy, piercing, loaded with something I couldn't fully understand. "What do you mean?" I asked, stalling for time. "You know what I mean," he said, his expression serious. "Would you still stay in this house? With me?" The silence between us was unbearable. My mind raced. Why would he ask that? Did he suspect my doubts? Did he sense that sometimes I felt trapped in this marriage, tied to responsibilities that weren't truly mine? Or was this his way of Daniel gave a small, humorless smile. "That's what I thought." Then he walked away, leaving me trembling in the kitchen. That night, I couldn't sleep. His question echoed in my mind again and again. "If my dad wasn't here, would you still stay?" When my husband returned from his trip, I didn't tell him what Daniel had said. How could I? It wasn't just the question itself, it was the way he asked it. Like he already knew my answer. Since then, Daniel has never brought it up again. But every so often, when his father isn't looking, he glances at me with that same knowing expression. And I can't shake the feeling that deep down, he sees the truth I'm too afraid to admit. Because when he asked me that question, I froze. Not because I didn't understand, but because I knew the answer. And it scared me more than anything.